Willpower Zone with Will Berry.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Willpower Zone. Of course, I'm Will Berry, and I'm here back with another great episode for you. Of course, we're on episode 9, so we're getting there. So, this episode, of course, today is going to be talking about peak performers and where the highest achievers they hang out. So, once again, if you haven't got a chance to listen to the other episodes, make sure to do that on Spotify, as well as I also have a YouTube channel, so check that out. Make sure to like and subscribe, and also send it out to people who may benefit. So we're a health podcast, health and wellness. We really focus on a variety of different areas: personal development, mindset, implementation, and really also just overall about the wellness of my mind, body, and spirit. So let's tackle what we're going to be getting into today, which are a couple things. One of them is going to be about defining peak performance and what that looks like, so you know what to look out for. The mindset behind the peak performers. So I'll go over some examples. The other thing also too is just the role of health and fitness, which I'm a really big firm believer on. Another thing is also daily rituals and habits. What does it take to make sure to always be in always peak performance and helping you be able to get there? The next thing after that is our resiliency, as well as also the influence of your environment. And we'll close things out. All right, so let's dig into it. So defining peak performance. So peak performance is, you've seen this so many times where, the highest athletes, individuals who are, let's say, are doctors, surgeons, in a variety of different fields, they have a certain way about them. They know that it is time, in many cases, what they also call Miller time, but it's time to really turn things on, really be focused, and get into the high peak state. So that high peak state is really a state where it almost feels as if many people also tend to, where it's like the runner's high, just that rhythm that you feel where your body almost feels numb, but it seems as if everything just falls into place. So that's really what I want to talk about. So this is really, where, your highest opportunities to be able to succeed, to be able to accomplish many great things. You've got to know when to turn this on and how to be able to do it. And I'll touch on that a little bit more in detail, but really this is a defined state. Really is kind of that, that what we call the beast mode, where we're just like, hey, kind of like everybody get out the way and let me take over. And when you're able to do that, it really starts to really help you really just be able to perform at your very highest. But it's a process to be able to do that, and we're going to kind of dive more into that. So let's go over some of the things, some of the mindsets, and really of people who are peak performance. So, I'm a big firm believer, especially about sports, and I'm in health and wellness and everything else. So, I will talk numerous times, especially about the people, of course, like Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, the amazing doctors and lawyers and amazing people in a variety of different fields. These individuals, you see them on display and getting into that high peak state when they've had performances that are just awe-inspiring. And when they're able to do that, you can see the real magic begin and really be able to say, wow, what came over you? And really, they were in the zone. And that's why, of course, I had named this podcast the Willpower Zone, because it is something else when you're able to really tap into the zone. Even for me, one of the mindsets and things is that, unshakable belief. You have to have this. You cannot have anything or anyone shake your belief on what you know to be true and what you know for yourself and what you're capable of. The other thing also too is just commitment to excellence. These individuals reach the highest of high, and they expect that of themselves, and unfortunately, they will expect that from the other people that are around them, especially when they're in team sports or even especially when it comes to a search or something like that. They will expect their staff to be on their A game, and it's important, as well as also being able to embrace the challenges and really being able to set their goals high, and they do this consistently. They expect that life is going to really dish out a variety of different things to them, and because they know that, they embrace that. They actually, in many cases, yearn for that. And I can speak from my own experience. When challenges came upon me, and there were a variety of different things, I said, you know what? this is the biggest opportunity for me to really showcase what I know, what I'm capable of, really help me to really elevate to the next level, into that really peak state. And that's what they do. And because they have these just hard set beliefs that have been pretty much been cultivated over a period of time, they are able to rely on that and are able to kind of turn on the switch. And for instance, the next thing I want to also go over is health and fitness. And I'm a big firm believer on that. You have to understand, especially if you want to perform at your best, you want to perform at your highest peak, you have to have your health not perfect, but at a particular point where you know you can get the most out of yourself. So I encourage you to take these small little steps. I'm not saying you gotta have the ripped washboard abs or anything like that, because remember, health and fitness and wellness, mind you, looks different across the board for everybody. Everybody has a variety of different body types, things that they do well on, things they don't do well on. So these are some things that you have to really learn about yourself and be able to say, what's that ideal state that I want to see myself in? And is the current state where I'm at, is this going to help me to raise up my level of, help me get to the peak, help me up to perform at my very best? And if for any reason that isn't, it's time to make some changes. And remember, you take it take it a day at a time, 1% better. And if you use that over a period of time, you'll see the changes and really blossom. But really, it's a big thing, and especially all the peak performers, all the highly successful people, they know that their health and fitness has to be at its highest. And this is why you'll see many people like Tom Brady, who just retired, especially after, of course, being over 40, and for him and many others like LeBron James, he's getting up to that particular point. So let's say for someone who's older, or even just an athlete in general, you'd be shocked to find out saying how much did they spend on their bodies. You've heard the astronomical amounts, whether it's 200, 300 grand, $500,000 or $1 million or a year. You're like, wow, that's crazy. But they know how important it is, and they know in order for them to perform at their very best, they have to have their health in check. So also talk about daily rituals and also some of the habits. For a lot of them, they're very habit-oriented. They're very routine-oriented. They almost, in many cases, can seem very militant in that. And then some of the big rituals that for a lot of them, that they use almost consistently is, turning on that song, taking that time to be able to, work out first thing in the morning before anyone is there, or, they also sit down and be able to meditate, really craft and really focus on some of the things that they really want to accomplish in their waking life. And because when they do that, they visualize seeing themselves hitting the winning shot, or, throwing the perfect pass, or whatever it may be, having the perfect surgery, or whatever it may be. They see themselves before it actually happens. So when the time comes, they know that they can rise to that particular level, and they know the different things are going to, happen within them. And they know the indicator is to say, hey, it's time for me to turn it on. It's time for me to take the next big leap and really accomplish the biggest set goals. So this is why it's so important that they have their certain rituals. It's interesting, especially like when you're seeing somebody hit a free throw or something like that. They usually have certain little things that they do leading up to them actually releasing the ball and hitting the bottom of the net. So everybody has it, whether it's, from, of course, football players, basketball players, baseball players, people with a variety of different industries, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Certain people have certain ways that they get their mind correct and get themselves ready to be able to perform at their very best. Then also let's talk about resiliency. So within anything, you have to have, especially when it comes to performing at your best, performing at the peak, that really what it's going to take for you, you have to have a sense of resiliency. Now, with anything, like with anyone, everyone's going to hit those challenges and pitfalls and things like that, and you really have to just say, I'm not going to win every game. I'm not going to, get everything right. So how can I prepare for that? And then be willing to be able to say, hey, it's time for me to bounce back. So that's why you have to prepare for that. And the more resilient you are, the more opportunities that you're going to have to really get into that zone, get into that rhythm, and being able to perform at your best. So that's why it's important. And then from there on, the next thing, especially the influence of your environment. Environment's so important. You gotta be around things that are going to only make it possible for you to perform at your best and be at your best. And being able to do that is so important, being strategic on that, especially around the people that you're around and having an environment so that, hey, you can grow and you can stay into that spot. So I encourage you to do that. So that's all we have for today. I hope you got a lot of nuggets and joy and things that you can really take to help you perform at your best and get you to that peak state. I encourage you, if you haven't got a chance to listen to the other episodes, make sure to go back and do that. Like and send it out to people, and subscribe, especially if you're on the YouTube channel and you're on Spotify. Send it out to people and catch up on the episodes and everything else. And then once again, closing out for the willpower zone. Make sure to stay in that zone and be great. I will see you again for the next episode.